Hi, I'm Karla Nieto, and this is the activity number 4. I am going to talk about Elton Mayo. Elton Mayo was an industrial psychologist who contributed to management in the area of human relations. He based his theory on human relationships. He indicated that the most important part of an organization is the human. Elton said that if worker satisfaction were high, production efficiency will be high. He realized a research in 1924 at a telephone factory called Western in Chicago. The experiment lasted 8 years. He proposed to study, together with a group of collaborators, the relationship between environmental characteristics and worker productivity. He suggested that if the work team did experiments in 4 stages, they would get better results. He also suggested that if he divided the group of workers in 2, he could compare their results. He wondered if the results of production would change if the conditions of the worker change. He thought that if they modify lightings, rest, and incentives, it will influence the productivity of workers. He said that if they observe the worker for a long time, they could know how they acted in different conditions. The results of Hawthorne's research were published in 1939. The results were positive to the speculation of Elton Mayo. During the experiment, he noticed that production didn't increase in the factory. The employees thought that if they increased the production, the bosses would require them to work harder. Elton said that the companies were a group of people, but they were not machines. He found that psychological conditions affect the productivity. If the workplace has more lighting, the production will be higher. The results of this experiment were very interesting. He noticed that production increased if supervisors would pay more attention to the needs of workers. Mayo concluded that employee behavior changes more because of the psychological effect than because of the factors that change during the experiment. He found that if the work environment were good, workers would make good relationships with their co-workers. The main part of the industry is social and human, and not economy. For this reason, he said that the leadership skills are very important in a company. One of his most important conclusions: if the workers didn't feel respected and listened to by their superiors, their cooperation in different projects would decrease. This affects directly the goals of the company. Based on his research, Mayo developed a series of theories that referred to this type of relationship in companies. Elton also concluded that the level of the productivity is not determined by physical ability, but by social norms. If the employees work in a good work environment, they will be motivated to work better. There is something important in his study. If companies cover the emotional needs of their workers, their mental well-being and their productivity in the company will increase. Elton found that workers act and support each other as a group. They don't act as a solitary individual. He said that if the workers had satisfactory working relationships, they would be more motivated to work for the company. From his research, the term the Hawthorne effect was created. He said that if a worker received special attention from his bosses, he might have better results in his work. Mayo suggested that the management confidence were high, the workers would be able to motivate employees more powerfully and effectively. Finally, he said that if the managers and supervisors trained in better treatment of workers, they would have a strong and motivated work team. Thank you.